we're going to look at number 4. This is from Dulier's book of Greek myths. And over here behind Joe, you'll notice there's a bigger poster board of that. And what do we call a board like this? What is this showing?
Oh my God.
Okay, the genealogy. So this is the genealogy of the Greek gods and goddesses from the Dulier's Greek myths. And if you will look on the back, we have a little bit of information. We said that polytheism is the doctrine of belief in more than one God. So I want you to understand the Greeks were polytheistic. On your first test, you will have to write a little paragraph about polytheism to define it and to give examples. So how would you give an example to show that the Greeks were polytheistic? Okay, so what were some examples you would give?
Zeus and Hera and
Okay, and then so you would show that Zeus was the king of the gods, and then the other 2 major gods are who? Poseidon, king of the sea, and then Hades, king of the underworld. So that's kind of the trilogy of the 3 most important of the gods. And then you would show that all the other gods and goddesses come off of the timeline from Cronus on down. Okay? Homer takes the gods and goddesses and represents glorified human beings in his poems. Remember that boys studied the Iliad and the Odyssey, and they actually learned to read. They learned Greek grammar. They learned about their religion. They learned about their history. They learned morals. They learned ethics. All from those stories. Okay? Now, this next week, we're going to, in class, do the alphabet, so we'll talk about that next week, but you don't have any homework in here for next week. Okay, let me go ahead and go over the homework. You're going to create your map of ancient Greece. You have several pages to read in Bob Jones. You have a definition essay due, so we're going to do that in just a moment. You have some pages to read in the famous men of Greece and Rome. And I want you to read page 125 in your writing with the master's book. Now let me address the murals that you have in your possession now. So what I'd like for you to do is to take these home. You are welcome to use markers, watercolor, whatever modes you would like to color yours. They are extra credit, so if you decide not to do it, if you would bring back the blank sheet of paper, because each one of these cost me over almost $3. So I would like to save them if you are not interested in getting extra credit. But how many extra credit points did I say you could have?
25.
And that will go on your first test. So the test will be worth a couple of $100 points, and you'll get an extra 25 for just doing this. So that would be a nice little boost onto your grade. So I would suggest you do it. We're going to decorate the back wall with them. So we'll kind of create a Greek village so we can kind of see what the inside of a Greek palace or beautiful place would be. Now the last 2 things we're going to do, we're going to play the Iliad bingo, but we'll do that right before class is over, and the winner today will get 5 bonus points to be added to their daily grade. So that sound like a good prize for your bingo? So we're going to play the Iliad bingo, so we'll do that at the end of class. So we have about 25 minutes before we'll play bingo. So what I'd like to do now, we're going to do our grammar and our writing. So if you want to, put everything up except your writing with the master's book and paper to write on. Now this is an example of an extended essay or an extended paragraph. So take one, pass the rest on over. show you how to set up every paper that you turn in to me this year. Now, those of you that had Mrs. Croteau last year, she already taught you this. If you had me for 6th grade, 7th grade English, or 8th grade down in that area, you already know how to do this also. So those of you who are new, this may be new to you. So learn it today and you've got it. Now the first thing, this is called the inside heading. Everybody look where I'm showing you. This is the inside heading. It has to have your name, your class name. You should have the date the paper is due. And then you should put what the assignment is. This is an extended essay, and the title is Personal Narrative. Now you will notice I skipped double spacing. I'm going to double space between my heading and my title. Notice that I do not bold the title. I do not make the title giant in size. I make it consistent with the size font I'm using. You will notice on a paragraph, I do want to the first line. I indent that everything is justified except this side is not justified. Now what do I mean by justification? That there is a common 1-inch margin on everything on this side. There is no common margin over here because I'm letting the lines fall where they just naturally break as far as length. This is MLA style. Now at the bottom of the page, you'll notice double space. So does everybody know how to double space? I will get my internet hooked up for next week so that I can actually go online to show you some of these things. Size Times New Roman size 12 font. If you don't use that font, you're going to lose points on your paper. Okay? Do not bold, capitalize, or enlarge the title. That is for babies. You are high schoolers now. Put your heading, name, class, date, assignment, and indent the first line. So everything I just said was written down here. Now let's read the paragraph together. Many of you may have heard horror stories about having Mrs. During or an English teacher. But I want to assure you that those stories greatly exaggerate, and that actually, most students find my class fun and enjoyable. Yes, I demand excellence from my students, but I love to laugh, tell jokes, and kid around. As a mother of 2 Cocker Spaniels named Texas and Dakota, and a cat named Siler, and yes, it was named after the serial killer for
I was thinking that.
I enjoy playing with my pets, and I did not name her. I also like to paint, garden, and swim. During my world travels, I have walked on the Great Wall of China, ridden a camel at the pyramids of Egypt, and put my hand in the Jordan River where John the Baptist baptized Jesus. Hopefully this year you will enjoy getting to know me and listening to my many stories. Now, what words did I not use in that essay?
B words.
Okay, I didn't use a single B word. There's no is, there's no are, there's no was. This year you're also going to get rid of the form of to have. So you're not going to use had, have, or has. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. So you'll notice that you can write an entire paper without a single B word. And it does sound good. Okay? So that's a little bit about me. I like to tell a lot of jokes in English because I teach English. Otherwise you what? Cry. Okay. So teachers feel that way too. Okay, so that is the actual way that you're going to set up your paragraphs and your papers. So let's talk for a few minutes now about expanding the basic paragraph. Now, let me review with you real quickly. Every paragraph, every essay, every speech has 3 basic sections to it. The first section is an introduction, and I'm going to just put intro. The next section is the body. Anybody want to guess what the last section is?
Conclusion.
The conclusion. Whether you are writing a paragraph, if you're writing a 5-paragraph essay, or whether you're writing a research paper, you're going to have the same pattern for every single paper. Now, when we write a paragraph, it's going to be one single paragraph. It's not going to be 3, not going to be 4, not going to be 2. It's going to be 1. So your assignment this week, you're going to write 1 paragraph. If you write a 5-paragraph essay, you have failed the assignment, we'll give 0. Because I want you to follow directions, and how many paragraphs are you going to write?
1.
Always have somebody that wants to write more. You know, if your mother says, no, you're too old to write 1 paragraph, you have to write 3. You have to write 5. Write that for her at home and let her have it. But tell her, say, Miss Juring's not going to take that. She wants how many paragraphs? 1. Okay, you're going to write plenty of the others later. Now, when we write 1 paragraph, we're going to have an introduction, we're going to have a body, we're going to have a conclusion. The introduction normally comes first, correct?
Yes.
The body will be in the middle, and then the conclusion will be last. Now, what sentence usually introduces the idea, the topic, the focus, the attitude for the paper? Michelle?
The thesis.
Not a thesis, but a topic sentence. Now, we're going to use a thesis, Michelle, later as we get into longer papers. Okay? But our topic sentence is going to be the one that will introduce our topic. It will tell us the focus of our paper. It'll give us a direction. How many examples do we need for our body?
3.
Reagan?
3.
Okay, a minimum of 3. So you should have, raise your hand, Cooper. You should have 3 right here. Then our conclusion is going to be called a conclusion sentence, maybe a clincher sentence, because it's going to clinch the idea to a close. It's going to summarize. It normally will be where? Last, okay? So this will be our conclusion sentence. Now, when we write a paragraph, the most important sentence is the topic sentence. So let's look for just a second about a topic sentence. I always like to teach that a topic should tell the topic. Now that seems ludicrous to repeat like that, but y'all, you'd be surprised how many people do not tell the topic of your paper. So today you're going to write a definition essay. So how many of you have ever written a definition essay? Okay, several of you have. So you're going to have to define a term. So you're going to have to actually mention in the first sentence that this is a definition. What word do you think you're going to have to define? The word epic. So did I just give you 12 epic characteristics? Okay, did we just talk about that an epic is this, 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 this? So you have a whole slew of information about how to define an epic. So you're going to start with the topic sentence, and the topic sentence is going to state the topic. It's going to have a focus, and I like to use the word attitude. If I talk about my new shoes and the fact that my new shoes hurt my feet, what is my topic?
Shoes.
Shoes. What kind of shoes? New shoes. Now, what is the focus of the paper? How the new shoes what?
Hurt.
Hurt the feet. So the entire paragraph has to be about what? How the shoes hurt the feet. Can I add information about that the shoes are green? Only if I can use it as a describer, like the green shoes caused a blister on my foot. Because the whole focus of the paper is not on the color of the shoes, or that I got them at Macy's, or that I paid $14. The focus of the entire paper is about how the shoes what? Hurt the feet. So you're going to write what we call an extended paragraph. So when you write an extended paragraph, we have to make a change on our format here. So now we're going to have 3 topics, but we're also going to have additional sentences about each one. So we're going to have a minimum of 3 sentences for each idea. So now you're going to have 1, 9, a 10-sentence essay. What grade are you in? 9th. Okay. So a 9th grader ought to write 10, maybe 8, 12 sentences every single paragraph. So this year, as honor students, you're going to be writing 10, 12, 13 sentence paragraphs as the norm. Because you're accelerating. You're past a normal 9th grader. Now, if you look at page 41 in the middle of the page, you'll see the green block.